forever, but my food is gone, but that is still sitting there.
All right, let's see if this... We got some people waiting, though. People are ready. There we are. Hello, everyone. Happy kickoff night for the Romance Takeover Readathon. I've been getting tagged in everybody's stories. I know you guys are reading away. There was some even last night for the people around the world. We're starting on time. I love it. I was just telling them before we start, we don't really have a plan for this one. This one isn't technically a reading sprint. Of course, you watching, you can be reading while we're yakking, but I just wanted us to hang out because chilling with your book friends is fun and find out what everyone's going to be reading and go from there. So, I mean, maybe there'll be people that don't know each other, so maybe we should do that even though our names are on the screen like weirdos. But why don't you say hi? And what is your favorite readathon that you participate in? Which doesn't have to be this one. I'm not trying to get because mine is actually a different answer than this. But anyway, Crystal.
Oh, I'm Crystal. I'm sorry. For some reason I thought Riley would go first. I'm Crystal from
No.
Life. I don't know that I have a favorite readathon. I just love all of them. I mean, I guess I do. They all have to be romance, otherwise I don't care about it. So
This is true.
But I love the historical one and the romance takeover and Smutathon for sure.
Oh, I need to do that one next time.
So I'm Riley. My channel is Riley Marie. My favorite readathon, I guess, is the historical romance one, just because I always forget to read historicals. Like, I don't know why. I just forget. And then I'm like, oh, the historical romance readathon's coming around. I got to, like, binge them.
Crystal, I would say you're maybe the opposite, right? Do you forget to read other things besides historical? She'll be like, oh, I think I've read too many in a row, but then I want to read a historical again. And I was like, I understand.
And then I'll read like one that's not a historical.
Yeah.
And 6 historicals in a row.
Yeah. Even when I read a bad historical, I want to read another one. But anyway, well, yeah, I mean, y'all, you're on my channel. Hopefully, you know where you're at. Maybe you don't. Maybe you came because of someone else. So I'm Jen. This is the Book Refuge. It's crazy. We don't follow any rules here, except that we don't shame people for the romances that they like. Except people do, and then I make them go away. So I am the romance mafia. There you go. I disappear you if you are mean. No, I'm just kidding. I actually am very excited to do the Mafia Readathon again because I was happily surprised with how many people participated and the authors that were involved. And I'm very excited to do that one. I'm planning to do that one in May again. Mafia May, maybe is what we'll call it. So
cool. I'm excited for that. I think I read my first Mafia romance during that.
Yes. Oh my God, I love hearing that. That just made my heart so happy.
that was such a fun readathon. You picked my TBR and they were like all favorites. Yeah, I loved them all.
I am not gonna lie, getting books from Mafia authors, I feel like I've hit my peak. That's all that I want. No, I'm just kidding. But for reals, I'm very, very excited that so many people were willing to try it and to try like different levels of it. Because, you know, there's the baby Mafia. There's the ease your way in. You know, it's a great... I think that, I mean, I say this quite a lot. Like, I think if you love historical romance and you like dark historical romance, you can very easily hop the line over to Mafia because so many of the tropes are the same. Like, so many of the tropes are the same. You got your virgins, your arranged marriages, your, like, deals between families. Like, there it is. But, okay, let's see what some people are saying. So I'm not just yakking the whole time. Where we go. My first live chat with you. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Happy to have you. Sam, hello. Hope you are feeling okay, my friend. We're happy to have you here through the beauty of the internet.
Hi, Sam.
Ooh, it's your first readathon route. I am so excited. I believe you're in Cambodia, right? Or Thailand, I can't remember. But she visits us from very far away, which is awesome. I've never participated in a readathon, and I want to so bad. Oh, okay, so you're just hanging out with us? You're just watching, Haley? Well, this is a super easy one because with a build your own bingo board, you could make it work. So you only need to read like one book to at least get a bingo. I mean, you might not black out a board with one book, but that's why I love the build your own board. It can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. Join the readathon because of all the wide open choices. Yes, Jennifer, that is the plan. Because I got to tell you, one of the things for me why I've liked anytime that I host a readathon, whenever it's mine, we will always have a build your own board, because some things that have kept me away from some readathons is when I'm like, this is all in your head, right? When I'm like forced to do a certain bingo board. That is not true. You can read whatever you want with the thing. But I will be like, oh, I don't like the board, so I'm not going to do this. So I like to remove all excuses for myself so that I don't have reason not to do stuff. So Mafia readathon, cool. Yes, very excited to do that. It will be amazing. Hey, Melissa. Oh, this warms my heart, Lisa. I love to hear that. When people say they try Outlander because of me or Mafia Romance, you've won my heart forever. I mean, granted, if you say you hate it, then that's another thing. But Riley, your hair looks so cute. Get the love from Jennifer.
I just woke up from a nap, so that's really good to hear.
I was thinking that too. It looks way cute like that.
You know, you can spend an hour on your hair and no one would notice. But when you just wake up and throw it in a bun, so many people are like, wow, what'd you do? Nothing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Buns only look good when you don't care.
Right. Otherwise,
that's so true. It's the accidental buns. Those are the only ones that work. The ones that you plan, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Cambodia. That is amazing. It is very early in the morning for you, isn't it? I think it's probably like 8 a.m. for her. Mafia readathon, and I like this one because we build our own board. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I'm currently in the Wendy's drive-thru. All right, Candace, that works. Thanks for making it here. Brazil, great. Okay.
Monica, I did not realize you were in Brazil. That's amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. So now that we went through all the hellos, how about we start with what everyone's first book was or is, if people aren't finished. I just finished my first one, so that's why I said that. But I was seeing some of you already on your second or third book already. So what's everyone starting off with? And for what prompts are you hitting with it? How about that?
My turn?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm reading Ravishing the Heiress by Sherry Thomas. And for the historical romance prompt, I'm not sure if it fits in any other ones or not, but
I think it depends. You didn't make a board, right? You're just going to read what you can read.
Yeah. If I get a bingo, I'll be lucky.
Well, you can reverse engineer it. Which books you read, you can be like, this is what I hit. Because let me see. I picked, because I also did the Ravishing the Heiress, and I put it as I picked Tortured Hero for this one. I may be a little bit stretch.
I think it
but
works.
I went with that. I went with that one, and then I did it for an audiobook. So.
Oh yeah.
Those are the ones that I picked for it. But so that's also what I finished. Riley, what are you?
I am in the middle of 2 books. So I'm reading Always Only You by Chloe Lees. I don't know yet which prompts this is for. I'm just going to make it when I'm done to see if I hit bingo. But the other book I'm reading, I just started. It's Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman.
Yeah. Isn't that intense?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
These 2 books are vastly different.
Yeah. Right. Crystal hasn't read that one yet. So, but you know kind of what happens. It's on here, but not spoiling it. But I mean, someone told me what that one was about, but I did not remember it when I started it. So when stuff starts happening, I was like, oh, what is this book? What's happening?
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah. Jennifer Hartman, I want to read her book that she co-authored with someone that just came out. She really goes for the gut punch with her books. So I'm very interested in that.
So did you Still Beating? What was the other one of hers? The Wrong Heart or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Which
I read The Wrong Heart.
Did you like better?
I like Still Beating better. I like that one better. The Wrong Heart is absolutely great. But that one's emotional with grief and mental health more, which yeah, there's mental health stuff in Still Beating too after what happens, and it's also like, yeah, the stuff in Wrong Heart, like that was tough because of just the combination of all of the traumas in that one whereas like Still Beating, as I've said, like it felt like it was a Criminal Minds episode, and then like the aftermath of it, which was, yeah, there was only one thing that I didn't like about that book. Otherwise, it was almost a 6-star book for me. Okay, what are the... Oh, Crystal, you have a cute hat.
Yeah.
She loves her little cat ears, mouse ears, whatever that one
do.
is. All right, let's go back here. My first book was Parker by Jack Harbin for host recommendation, author of color, and queer protagonist. Nice, I like it. My first book today is The Medicine Man. Yes, that is one that has been off and on my TBR at different times.
Yeah, I've been wanting to read that for a long time.
It was just on sale too, right? So I picked it up finally.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
the only thing was, yeah, I didn't love the other Saffron and Kent that I read. And with the, I mean, I'd have to hear more reviews from like friends of mine for that one, because based on what the subject matter of that one was, I was nervous about how she would do with it, since again, like the other one I read, I was like, I don't know how well you handled this topic. But yes, Julia Quinn, read them all. I love it so much. Book you didn't get back to last year, and historical romance. Great. I'm so happy that Historical Hellions are doing splendid. I love that trilogy so much, and to think that was her like debut book was amazing. You're on your third already. The Soldier, Scoundrel, and Priest already. Yes, Melissa, I saw that you read Priest and that you liked it quite a lot. That is always a good one. I love that one. Someone just said they hadn't read Priest yet. Oh, it was Jess. Jessica hasn't read Priest yet, which I was shocked.
Hasn't either. She was told that she was thinking about maybe picking it up now.
I mean, I was sure I was the last person who read that one, and that was like a long time ago, so obviously I wasn't. But at the time, I was like, what is this book? But since then, too, I am a sucker for a book that is an all-hero point of view, because those do not happen very often, and I like them. Emma Chase writes a few of them. I like those. 15% into Lola and the Millionaires. The Lost Reader. I need to try that someday, but I don't know. Omegaverse has not been my friend, is the thing.
Didn't Jessin read that?
Yeah,
and she loves
that one.
Yeah,
she loves that one. I started with Baby and the Howlers, though, because like they are in a series, but like one of them's about Baby and the Howlers, I think, and another two, but I don't know. I just don't love Omegaverse. That's okay.
Those are by Catherine Moon, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Which, so far with Catherine Moon, I mean, The Lady of Rooksgrave is the only one I've like loved it. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited for A Company of Fiends to come out. But for a lot of people, she just ticks all the boxes, and I am very happy for them for that. Counting on it towards age gap and one other that you can't remember. Okay, we'll have to see.
Tiffany hasn't read Priest. I just saw. Tiffany, you need to read that.
Yes, I didn't know that. Wait, Tiffany, haven't you read like the other ones though? I feel like Tiff has read the other ones. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. Your first book was Stuck Under One Roof by Allie Hazelwood. Did not know she had other books. So
I think those are those part of like her Audible exclusives.
They might
like
be.
She was having a bunch of those come out recently.
Oh, okay.
And they're supposed to be like shorter, I think.
Okay, interesting. The One Night by Megan Quinn, Buddy Reed, new to be in Ottawa. Is Bree reading that with you? Are you reading that with Bree Morgan or someone else? Because I'm pretty sure that's what Bree was reading. Oh, I didn't even say that. Bree obviously is not here. She's going to join us in the chat if she can. She had some family stuff come up. Steph, our last minute entry, she was like, I chaotically decided to join. We are happy that you did. 7 Days in June. I'm hearing good things about that one.
I love
Second
that one.
Chance, 5-star
I really
prediction.
love that one.
And then Mixtape, the POC author and tortured hero.
I need to read the mixtape. There are a lot of Brittany C. Cherry books that I need to get to that I have not been keeping up with.
I was supposed to read my second one this month, but I threw out my TBR. Not because I didn't like it, but because I went down a chaotic path and my TBR just went under the train because I was like, nope, I can't do it. That's what happens when a like mood reader, I will do really well for like a few months in a row. And then when I try to be like, let me just get crazy and pick random books for my TBR, I'll be like, nope, I hate them all. Goodbye.
My TBR for this readathon is completely different than the video that I filmed.
I love it. I love it. Daniela, I saw that you read this, and it makes my heart so happy. His Cocky Valet, which is an LGBTQ and host rec. Oh, this made me so happy that you read this book. This whole series is so interesting. This one is a like spoiled rich boy. His father dies, so he becomes the heir, and his father's butler like becomes his daddy in like the big D daddy type of way.
Oh yeah,
And
I've read this. That sounds
so
familiar.
good. I loved it. I had never read anything quite like it when I read it, so I didn't love the second one in the series, but the third one just came out and I liked that one as well, which was an age gap like actor. They were two actors, and one of them is like he's a prince for this like tiny island nation who wants to be an actor, and he gets sexually propositioned by the director, and then this older actor who's like 40, who for the first time is cast to be like a father, so he's having a bit of a like age crisis where now he's not the studly lead anymore, and he walks in on what's happening and he's like, do you want us to ruin this director? Because if you want me to ruin this director, I will ruin this director for you right now. That's the setup of that one. It was, that was good. It was Me Too with a twist, but also it was about more than that being the issue. Oh, Kazi's happy that we're here. He's always happy to hear my voice. Just not that he can hear my voice, because he's probably wearing headphones.
I think a package.
It was, not working. Almost done with the Spanish Love Deception, and the slow burn is amazing. I'm so happy for you that the slow burn is really working for you. I had one of the worst slow burns ever yesterday. It was 700 pages before I so eloquently said to Crystal before the D went in. I was so upset. It was a trilogy, by the way, and it wasn't until the third book that anything happened. And I was like, why am I still here? Why am I holding on for this? But I couldn't stop. I gave them all like 3 stars, but I kept going.
That's just too long. That's too long to me.
It's not. It was so like, well, I was holding on because it was a trilogy by Ashley Jade. And it's this woman who's a lesbian, and she has to be in a marriage of convenience with a straight guy because her grandmother is a homophobic hag. And then she like falls for him. And I like when what we perceive as our sexuality like is overcome by like connection with a person. I just love that. So I couldn't stop because I was like, when are you falling in love with him? But obviously she had some issues with wanting to have sex with a guy, which I understand, but I was just like, nah. Anyway, I'm a whore. We know this. I would like the banging to happen sooner. Almost done with A Reckless Match by Kate Bateman. Historical romance, 5-star prediction. Didn't get to it. Yeah, that was a fun one. I'm discovering Kate Bateman that I go to her for like, she has fun historical romance, because like she also had A Princess and the Rogue, and I really like that one. She has a bunch of indie ones too. She writes under like KC Bateman, as well as she has some under the Kate Bateman name. Like I own them as well. So
I started one of those indie runs of hers, and it was not great. Like, I didn't finish it.
That's
So now
fair
I'm
enough.
scared to try the rest of her indie ones because it was like, it seemed like it was a historical fiction, not romance. But that's not why it wasn't good. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think she has some that are different too. Because there's that series where they're like, it's like dude looks like a groom or something. I can't remember the titles of them, but there's that like trilogy where they're like falling for the footman and like dude looks like I can't remember, but I think those ones are like rom-coms. So just finished the King's Spinster Bride. Oh my god, that book is so good.
I
need
that
to get
one.
a physical one. Stacey Scoundrel of Her Own. Oh yes, Carrie, that one is also
I love that one so much.
Delightful. I love that one so much. Lee, I saw you were reading Bound. Yes, so good. So good. I'm very excited. After hearing... No, that's the last one. That's the last one. Yep. Ensnared is the first one.
That's right.
Now that I know more about like their reading process or writing process, I love them like even more because they literally role play their books, as in writing it out, not the other thing. Writing them out. That's literally how they write their books, is they share a screen and they role play their scenes out and they write them together. Like that is
that's cool.
Most amazing thing. And Rob said he's like, it's hard for me to be mean. So that's why our heroes end up being cinnamon rolls. Because he's like, it's too tough for me to be mean to her when they're role playing them.
That's adorable.
I just
honestly,
love that.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
God. It's adorable. It's adorable. The Love Hypothesis, I'm halfway through it. I'm using it for romance I didn't get to. Good one. I picked the board to fit what I'm reading. Yep, that's how you do it. That's the whole purpose. Nope, he's definitely a torture hero. Oh, you're talking about Ravishing the Heiress. Tiffany also just started that one. She said she looked in our Discord and she got scared. And I was like, everyone was being pretty nice in the Discord. They were all like, I can't wait to talk about it. So that's okay. We pick ones we usually know we'll love. And sometimes we have to be like, let's pick one we don't know if we will love. Like we do that sometimes. We've been pretty lucky that we're always like, we love this book. There's not much to talk about. It's 6 stars. We're done.
I think sometimes, well, I don't know. I feel like the ones that you don't necessarily like are some of the best.
Oh, exactly. So. That's what I mean. It's like the times when we love it, we're like, we don't have that much to say. We liked it. It was fun.
Like, I really liked the conversation we had for the Scarlet Peckham one we read. I can't ever remember the titles of those. That was
the Earl I Ruined was that one.
Yeah. Was it that?
Mm-hmm. The Lord I Left is the last one. I haven't read that either.
But that's supposed to be in my TBR this time, too.
Yeah. I'm scared of that one because I'm pretty sure that that's the one that doesn't have a traditional happily ever after, which I know some people are okay with.
I did not know that.
I'm not okay with it. That is a rumor. I'm not, but part of the reason why I haven't read it yet is I heard that. And so I was like, but I could not know that. I could be wrong. Sorry if that burst a bubble, but also I would like to warn you because if it's not, but it is Scarlet Peckham. So
she does like to hit you with a little bit of melancholy. Yeah.
Right. Like, there's another one of hers without that you really do like. So maybe
that has a happily ever after.
Does it? I didn't know. I thought it didn't.
Oh, it totally does.
Actually.
You've read the Ray Cass, right? It has a happily ever after, huh?
Oh, well, I am sorry I was wrong with that. I thought it didn't. Maybe it's just because so many people that I talked to about it are like, I hated this. That's why I thought. Not you, obviously.
No, I love
but
that
some
book.
Other people.
Yeah,
I know you love that one. I'm scared of it. Sin by Serena Ackroyd for a book at Ink 2 and Scarred. Oh, I want to read Scarred.
I need to read the first one. Have you read Hooked, Riley? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah.
See, the audio for that one comes out next week for Hooked.
I'm I have that on my team.
Yeah. That's why, because I had started reading that one before, and then I was like, no, I wasn't in the mood. but I was like, I want to read this one. That happens to me a lot when everyone's reading the same thing. Is I'll be like, oh, I grabbed it, and then I'm like, but I don't want to be the same as everybody, so I'm gonna wait for no reason.
I do that too, just because it feels like, I don't know, like, I don't know if it's like an inner rebel or what, but I'm like, if you're all reading that, I don't want to read it.
Yeah. If I don't hit it when it's like, if I don't like start it when that happens, then, you know, like, yeah. Because if I wait even like a day too long, then I'm like, they're all finishing it already. It's fine. I'll just wait. But Scarred intrigues me a lot. And I know you don't have, like, I'm pretty sure those ones aren't connected at all.
Yeah,
I believe.
I don't think they are. They might take place in like the same world, but I don't think the characters are like
I'm pretty sure it's just literally like she's doing a series of like retellings, and so they're the same, but they're like different. So
Scarred sounds really cool because it's a Lion King retelling. Like I've never seen that before.
I want to, so I'm definitely intrigued. I have so many arcs I have to read this month, though. I like can't even. I wish it was magical, because then I could read it for Pharaoh Feb, which is coming up soon, but I don't think I could do that. I kept putting off Still Beating. You read that, right, Tiffany? Or you didn't? Okay. Oh, Tori's here. Hello, friend. Nearly finished with your first Puck Over. Yes. You could definitely fit that into Tortured Hero. There's different levels of tortured. You can be an athlete and be cool and have your issues. It doesn't always have to be you're split between two loves or something. There's different levels of it. You still need to read this. Yes. Oh my word. Tiffany, I cannot believe you haven't read that. I'm shook. I'm shook a little bit that you haven't read that. But it's fine. I want to listen to the audio of Priests. Yeah, I have not listened to the audio of Priests. And I know that a lot of people, the reason they well, I read it. I didn't even read audio.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even listen to audiobooks when I like first read that one. Like I only listened to fantasy books on audio until like 2 years ago. So that's how I got through big fantasy books, is I listened to them. Because I didn't think I would like sexy things being read to me. So, wow, was I wrong? I realized my wrongness, but at the time I did not. So,
the audio for Priest is really good because I didn't realize that it was only famous from his point of view.
Right.
Because it has a female narrator at times too. So, it's good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, because she reads her like confession scenes and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people love, I think that's Jacob, right? It's Jacob Morgan.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. He's pretty talented, right? I want to go over to that guy's YouTube page. He did a live reading of Raylan. He did a live reading of Broken Vow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm I need to go watch that. But I mean, I'm a big fan of Wen Ross, so I don't really like need anyone else to read him to me, but I will go check it out. I also want to listen to Games We Play after hearing a clip of the guy like talking. As I was
I
listened to that
like months ago.
I know, but I just like I'd read the book. I read that one right when it came out, and I read it. It only took me like an hour and a half. So sometimes if I can read the thing faster than the audiobook, I don't want to use a credit to get it when I can read it in like, and when I know the whole thing is sex. Like there is a line where I'm like, I literally could read this in an hour and a half, and I don't want to use a credit for it when I like to save those for my historicals and stuff. But
I follow like 5 people on TikTok, and one of them is him.
Yeah,
I follow him too. And he followed me back. He even followed my fitness page, and I'm not obsessed with
him. That's hilarious. I love it. You don't like Omegaverse, but you like these, and I hear that. Velocireader. It is deep on my TBR list, but again, maybe I'll get around to it when everyone else is like over Omegaverse. I'll come back to it and be like, hey guys, Omegaverse is so cool. And I'm gonna be like, Jen, that was so 2021. Okay. And I'll be like, okay, fine. Oh, you haven't read any of them, Tiffany. Okay, well, forgive me for thinking you're up with it. Okay.
Tiffany, I still need to read Saint and Sinner.
Ugh.
I'm behind on those.
Same.
Saint hurt me real bad.
And I want to read it so bad, but that's like one of those books that like I know I'm gonna love, and so I'm like
This book is
holding on
so
to it.
pretty. I love this book. This is the nice like Mont Lake one too, like full size, so pretty. I'm gonna get all of these ones.
That's a pretty book.
I know. I love this
that.
one. A++ for the first book and like the second and like the 8th book. And all the rest are kind of just copies of those books. But it's one of those where like if you'd read these as they were coming out, you know, you're reading like one a year.
Mm-hmm.
But when you binge them all, you're like, oh, these are exactly the same book that I'm reading over and over again. Which was great. I read them all in 1 month and I had a great time. But then I tried to read the spin-off series and I was like, okay, these are exactly the same everything. So yes, I saw your updates for these. I'm sad that one didn't like work for you because it was a Scottish pirate.
Oh,
Apparently it
that
wasn't
is sad.
too great. That makes me sad. QB Tyler, now Ravishing the Heiress. He is very tortured, Tiffany. He is. Did you figure out what the mouse meant yet, Tiffany? I sent her a mouse. She was probably confused why I did that. I know. My first read was Neon Gods. Great. Get ready for Electric Idol. That one's so good.
I just finished Electric Idol yesterday and really liked it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm literally just reading these. Sorry if there's a topic you guys want to talk about. I'll happily just keep doing this, but I feel like I'm a bum leading this because I'm just like, let me just read all of these. I'm super. Savage Beginnings. Now on to Forget Me Not. Well, good luck. Soar Young. Good luck with that QB Tyler. I hope you like it.
Riley likes that one.
I did, but I feel like I'm wrong.
You do not
I feel
have
bad.
to.
I have such passionate feelings in the opposite direction, but like I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum. You like it. That's great.
The tropes we
like,
love are different.
Because the only other person I know that really loved it as much as I did is Jess.
Yeah.
Everyone else hated it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the one who like I love some of the darkest romance that there is. So who am I to say that like that is a bad thing? Like I'm definitely not saying it's a bad thing. I just know I wouldn't like it at all. So I'm like, I don't want to read it and bitch about it when I should just stay away. That's literally what trigger warnings are for, is to stay away from this stuff.
I definitely do see the appeal, honestly. Like when I was like 14, my mom was super into this soap opera. And I also thus got super into it. And it was this love triangle and there was cheating. And I was like literally so invested in it. So like
I feel that.
I see the appeal. And this is like I'm always on the lookout for books where an author takes a trope that I hate and makes me love it. Like that's just fantastic. So I wanted to try it. And I'm not saying it's a terrible book, but that's all I'm gonna say.
It was terrible for you.
It was terrible for me. It was specifically terrible for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just also different. I was laughing about it, but I was complaining to Crystal about like I just watched a mainstream booktubers channel who I'm not going to say what it is just in case someone gets upset, who had called out a dark romance author that I love. It called out their TikTok and said that like this is rape that you are like showing in this TikTok, which it is, but it was like it's a non-consensual like kinky book. That's what was happening in it, with a like forced pregnancy trope, which so the person was like, forced pregnancy, isn't that rape? And I was being like, yeah, like that's what it's a dark romance. And then just 5 minutes later in their video, they were like talking about authors complaining about like people putting their books on worst lists and stuff. And I was like, just respectfully, I was like, you know, it's a dark romance. That is a genre of romance. It can make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. But like, please don't shame people who read it, because like, oh, anyway, I didn't mean to. But anyway, that's just something where I'm like, that's why if people like cheating in their books, if they like a surprise baby in their book or a secret baby in their book, I'm like, I just want to know if those tropes are in it so that I don't have to read it. Right. Or if somebody reads a book who that trope is done the best they've ever seen it done, I'd be willing to try it because I'm always willing to change my mind on stuff. But if someone recommended me a book with cheating as their favorite book ever and like didn't warn me about it, I would be burning this book because you didn't warn me about it. Like, I would not like that. But anyway, obviously that book is popular because it's freaking everywhere and there's special editions of it. So it works out. Scarred.
I do want to try more from her though, that author, QB Tyler.
Oh yeah. Like I was seeing Jessica's just reading The Unconditional right now. Is that which one she had on hers? I love that one.
Oh, you do?
Huh?
I'm sorry. You do love that one? I'm sorry, my internet. It's connected.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a stepdad romance, and I love it. It's the first one I ever read of hers. I freaking ate that thing up. But Tiffany's read both, and she said they're completely different standalones. They're not even connected at all. So you could read them out of order if you want. So, but no, that one is like, he becomes her stepdad when she's like 8. So I'm like, he was her stepdad for like 10 years of her life. And she's attracted to him for a lot of it, which is weird. Like that one's a really taboo. It's really taboo, which is why I'd read it, because I was reading, it was back when I was reading my like incest books and step romance books. So I'd read that one because of that. And very chaotic, very unhealthy relationship. And I just loved it a lot. So.
See, that's one I don't think that I could read, because I have a stepdad who I'm like very close to.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be fun.
Yeah, I get it.
One of these tropes, cheating, let's be real, happens a lot. Falling for your stepdad, not so much. So it's like, of the two of us, the one who like you're liking that book is probably more realistic than me being like, I like the stepdad book. So that's what I said. It's the most mundane things in books that bug me. But I'm like, give me all the triggers. Like I want coerced stuff and I want possessive. Like I want all those things that are extremely unhealthy. But if like they have a miscommunication about something, no, I can't. It's like my priorities are a little bit messed up. We know that. This is a good question. Hold on. Oop. Reading Damage by Onley James. Love it. And Cottonwood by R.L. Lee. So I commented this on your video, Crystal, that the R. Lee Smith book that you put on, that's one that Rob and Tiffany recommended in their thing. So I had just grabbed it the day before because she said it's like it's like romantic horror.
Yeah, it sounds completely bonkers, and I'm like,
it has a bad cover. It has a really bad cover.
So terrible. Literally one of the worst covers I've ever seen. But the premise of it sounds amazing.
What's the title?
The Land of the Beautiful Dead. But Tiffany said that that R. Lee Smith is like one of her favorite authors. And so let me see if I can grab the
that is a bad cover.
It's so bad.
It's not great. This is like really bad. But whatever. But I think it's like an evil vampire one, right?
But I mean, it is on Kindle Unlimited, so.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite books of the year was that Ellen O'Connell that literally has stick figures on the fucking cover of it, basically. It was hideous. And I'm like, man, I wish this author was like still writing so she could give stuff new covers. But it was probably very cheap to make. And that's what it was about. It was just give it a cover and then. I almost wish it had just been like a sunset or something. Like it's like just take the people out of it then. Like, don't put the people on it at all. Just put a horse on the cover or something. That would have been fine. But anyway, that's one that I really want to read. Is there an audiobook for that one, Crystal? Did you see?
No, there's not.
Okay. I didn't think there was. It's a bit 2014. It's a bit like older anyway. Yeah. But okay, here's the one. Speaking of reading order, do I need to read The Maiden Lane in order? So I have a thought on this that no, you don't have to. You don't have to. But there are like overarching story arcs for like each 4 books in the series. So Tessa just depends on how much you want to. Like, I've pretty much ruined the first story arc in every video I've done where I talk about book 4. So you know what it is anyway if you watch any of my videos. But Crystal, she can give her opinion on this too. But like, I would read them in order if you plan to read them all. If you don't plan to read them all and you just want to pick like, you know, our favorites or ones you're interested in, then yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you do want to read them all, I think you should read them in order. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jen's totally right. Like the first, in groups of 4, they have like an overarching story thread. And if that's not super important to you, like there's like a mystery and like they're fighting crime in another one. So if that's not like super important to you and you just want to read about that couple, I think you could totally do it. But yeah. There are some books in there that I don't like. I mean, I like pretty much all of them. I do like all of them. But there are at least 2 that are like my least favorite in the series. So yeah.
But one of those that I least like has some of the most important story for the overarching story ever.
That's like, very true. Yeah.
So, and a lot of people like that one. Again, it's a thing.
That's also very true.
There's
I
so
was
many
really
people
surprised that you
who
didn't
told
like
me that's
that
their
one.
favorite. Oh no, not one bit. I mean, he's just mean.
He's so mean. I know.
Mean. There's a difference between a possessive asshole who's like mine, and is maybe like teasing. But in a historical, I don't want you to be mean. This isn't a bully romance where I need to put up with you being mean. Like, and then people want to be like, well, the trauma that he's had. And I'm like, sure, he can be dysfunctional, but he's literally cruel to the woman he's supposed, and cruel to other people that I love. That's what the big issue with him was, is that this person who shall not be named is fucking with everybody for the last 4 books. And then I'm supposed to care that he's had a tough backstory. Let me just
and it's interesting too, because that book is so often talked about whenever like morality chain is brought up. That one is always referenced. I don't see it because he's
me neither. No. He's not. Well, also a big difference for me is like, okay, I never really understood morality chain until recently. And the book that does it the best for me is Lothair. For me, it's the one that made it click for me to
I think that's very true. I was actually going to mention that's the best one. Yeah.
That's the one that makes it click, when it's literally like hero/villain man has his own, like he has his own motivations. And then through his motivations, he's like hurting the heroine, doing this. And then once he cares for her, it changes what he's doing so that she can be happy. Like that is what like morality chain is, how it snaps for me.
Yeah.
And in that book, I don't feel like he changes what he does. It ends. So I don't agree. But
no, I do think Lothair is probably the perfect example of a morality chain. Yeah.
Yeah. Because once you, like, if you're someone who's reading those and you see that, now it's easier for me to pick it out in other ones. And, like, also, like, I read Mafia, and there's tons of morality chain in Mafia. Like, Twisted Pride is a great example of morality chain, and a lot of books in those. So.
That's very true. That's an excellent one, too.
I'm just able to join. We're literally just hanging out, Ashley. This is a kickoff night. We're just talking about what people are reading and wasting some time together. So you're not missing anything. Oh, hey, Stacy. Hello, my friend. If I wrote a book, I'm doing stick figures, but the guy has abs. That is great.
Priorities.
I love that. But like, yeah, see, she know which book I was talking about. Eyes of Silver, Eyes of Gold. Wow, you just finished it? Oh, that book. Good times. Could you tell us again which books to read before reading The Bully? I've ordered Ivan so far. Okay. Easy peasy right here. I'm a pro. So if you started, I don't know where you started, Cheryl, though. If you read Brutal Birthright, have you read those? Are you talking the entire order or just before you get to The Bully? Because if you do want to start with Kingmakers, you can. of course, you can do whatever you want. But my personal opinion and the approved opinion from Business Daddy himself is to do this. You should read The Brutal Birthright, which read all 6 of those. Then you read The Heir and the Rebel. And then at minimum, you should read the Ivan and Snow. You could also read all 4 of those ones because there are characters from Dom and Roman as a Roman and Dom as well. But you at least have to read Ivan and Snow, and then you can read the Bully and the Spy. So, and I have a video about that if you'd like to see it, Cheryl. So that just go look up Sophie Lark on my channel and you'll find it.
And so. I actually am reading The Spy right now, and I was kind of kicking and screaming when Jen was like, okay, you've got to read 8 books before, and I was like, I don't want to.
You're like, Jen, I don't have to. And I was like, remember Devil in Disguise? Remember Devil in Disguise? Just listen to me.
And she was right. She was totally right. Like, follow her reading order because it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I only say this because the only reason I listened, literally the only reason I listened is because The Bully was not out yet. I did not have a choice but to read. I got to the end of The Rebel and there's a little note that says, hey, how about you read Ivan and Snow while you wait? And I was like, fine, I will. And I was very happy that I did that. So you'll be happy too. Also, Princess of Paperback just did it too. And she left me hilarious messages while she was reading The Spy. I was cackling. Oh my God, don't get me started on him. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I know he was so mean. He was so mean.
Duke of Sin, is that what she's talking about?
Yeah.
What's she talking about? Yeah. From the Maiden Lane.
Uh-huh. She was talking about that person who shall not be named.
Duke of Sin, yeah, that's what she said. Okay.
Almost 2 a.m. and you have to wake up. Thank you for this. Oh, well, Daniela, thanks for staying up with us. We will be around all weekend. Hopefully you can make some. I should say that before some people leave. The reading sprint tomorrow, as of now, Bree will let me know if, because of her family thing, if we have to switch, like I can host it if we have to change that. But it's at Bree's channel at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern is our next reading sprint. And then Riley has one on Sunday at 1 p.m. and Crystal's is at noon Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central on Monday, which will kind of like, it's not a wrap-up reading sprint or anything, but there isn't a wrap-up show just because it'll be Monday night. I'll put an announcement on my Instagram when you have to have your bingo boards turned in by for prizes, because I did put up a thing about that. We'll give away some gift cards. You're about to reread The Bully. Yeah. The Bully's the one I've reread the most. I'll straight up tell you that. I've reread that one 4 times. It's Raylan is still my favorite at all, but The Bully's the best build book in my opinion. In my personal opinion.
So good.
It's the best build book that I've read. So, and that's only amplified by apparently I know now I need to read Draco fanfiction, and The Bully is basically Draco fanfiction. I'm just saying. That's not speculation. Sophie will tell you that she wrote the entire Kingmaker series because she wanted to give Draco Malfoy a character arc. So there you go. Okay, you've only read The Heir and the Rebel. Okay. Well, then, I mean, you're okay. You could just read the Ivan and Snow, because if you've read The Heir and the Rebel, you've already read the stuff from Brutal Birthright that you needed. Because the reason really to read the Brutal Birthright stuff is to read about the characters' parents who are in those ones. So just read Ivan and Snow. They're short. Those ones go real quick. And then you could read Roman and Dom if you want to. But you have to read Ivan and Snow. You may not. Cannot tell you why. You'll understand it better by and by.
Are there audiobooks for Ivan and Snow?
No.
The Heir one just came out, though.
Yeah.
They're coming. The thing is, and we will find out more details on Sunday because I'm going to make them tell me things. But I think the plan is to get the Kingmaker ones out as well as the Devil Duet, because those are her most popular books. Business Daddy will give it to you straight. The older books, like, they're not going to make enough money with their audiobooks to be worth it for them. But he also has a softy spot for Ivan and Snow, so maybe we'll get those.
Yeah. I bet they do Ivan at some point.
Oh, I can't say it. but one of the vocal actors from Kingmakers maybe would show up again anyway. So I can't say who, but maybe we would just do that. So, Sophie writes such great books. How fucking excited are we for her Anastasia shit? I can't.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Like I want my brain to explode.
I'm so excited, but I'm also so scared. But because
I'm not scared. It's gonna be
I'm scared because I love her so much now. And I feel like if an author tries fantasy, I don't want to get let down. You know, like the fantasy could be, because it is a fantasy. That's her fantasy romance, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's alternate historical fantasy. Anastasia is. But see, that's a prequel.
A prequel?
Yep. On her TikTok, she announced that it's a prequel to her fantasy series that will start in October. So that one's coming in July, and it's going to be like a prequel to it. So,
but after having read the 3.5 Kingmaker books, which I feel like are really superbly plotted, I trust
world
her
building
to do. Yeah, her world building is fantastic in there.
It's great.
So, but I'm still nervous just because, like, I don't know if there's anything I dislike more than a disappointing fantasy romance.
This is true. Okay, what is a book that you three have very different opinions about? Well, I mean, I don't even know. I will be honest, I don't as fully know Riley's like backlist of everything because I've only been watching her more recently. I mean, Crystal and I, what do we have opposite opinions on? Besides, I mean, I don't know too many.
It's a book, but
I don't know if we have
you hate time jumps, and I kind of love them. Like, I
hate them when there's no reason. Yeah.
And I hate them when there's no reason.
Yeah, I don't. It's all okay. There's a whole thing. It's also when the time jump takes place, how long it's for, and what the reasons are for it. Because I'll tell you, the big reason I don't like time jumps is they very often go hand in hand with a secret baby. You pair those two together and I will punch you in the face. Like, no, I won't. I would never choose violence. But that's a big reason I don't like it, because a lot of times an author's reason for a time jump is for a secret baby that a woman has decided not to tell anyone about. And then I'm just like, nope. But if it's because people need to grow up, okay, fine. Whatever. But
is there a book that you hate that I love? Jen? I don't even know if there is.
I don't know.
I think usually it's that we avoid them. If one of us reads it first and we're like,
right.
I don't think you're gonna
I know. It doesn't usually like happen. It's usually the worst that it'll be is you'll be like, oh, it's like a 4-star for me instead of a 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Riley, what are some of your most hated books?
November 9.
Okay. Yeah,
I haven't read that one.
Yeah. I avoid Colleen Hoover like the plague. So
I've read her
good choice.
in the very beginning, like when New Adult was just getting started. I found her and I just ate her books up. But then I just stopped reading her after like Slammed and everything. Yeah. I don't know, Riley. I don't even know how old you would have been then. You both of you are so young. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, Amy, I hope you're doing okay. Do you need a care package? I can send you one if you need the love. Reading Manacles. Oh boy. The Making of a Highlander. Love it. That is an interesting pairing of what you're reading. Ivan was my first Sophie Lark. Oh, love Ivan. All the love for Sophie Lark just makes me so happy. I've brainwashed you all so well. It makes me grow, please. Ivan is short though. Yes. Yeah. Yep. They're the pretty much all of the Underworld ones were shorter because she was just getting her feet wet. Dying for Fantasy. Yes, I'm excited. I love Anastasia so much. It's gonna be amazing. Let's see. Oh, that's your full name. That is so cute. I love that.
I love that too.
Anastasia. I'm so excited. Okay, I know I've told some people this, but the audiobooks for The Dawn and the Lady are coming out soon, and Joe Arden is reading them. And the main character's name is Jennifer. And like, he says it a lot when they're having spicy times, and I'm very excited about it. I might need some time alone with Joe Arden when I'm listening to that one. I'm doing okay right now. Yes. Oh my gosh. One of my friends is binding us each a copy of it right now, and I could just die of happiness. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Hate time jumps. Oh, look, we couldn't have a conversation 5 years ago to fix our problem, but now we're totally going to have happily ever after. Yes, Megan, girl. Burn that down with me.
If that is literally the reason, I wouldn't like that book, no matter if it had a time jump in it or not, right? But
that's what I feel like happens in the Kingmakers, and I'm just saying.
I do not agree with you. There we go. We don't agree.
But I didn't hate that book, so it's not enough for that because, no, I'm still angry. I can't think about that. I can't think about that one too long because that one has fucking 2 of them. That one has 2 time jumps in the book.
Kennedy does that a lot. She did that in the Grip series too.
Yeah, but see, like that one works for me because it's there's a prequel. And then the time jump is happening. It's not like in the book. Like it's not in the book where they're whatever. Like that's just different. Like there's situations.
Yeah, Bernice Cherry does that a lot.
Yes,
and I agree.
I know.
Totally
I've been warned.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like again, there are reasons, but okay, back to that. Yeah, I can't think of any. I can't think of any off the top of my head. It's more so stuff that bugs me. Are there any Sarah McLean that you like that I hate? I don't think I hated any of them. I would just be kind of like me. Yeah. No, I'm looking at my shelves. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Oh, I mean, you hated Untouchable, so there's that.
I didn't hate it. Okay.
Stop.
I gave it 3 stars.
Okay.
Thank you. I gave it 3 stars because objectively, I thought it was well done. But I don't love him as a hero. Like he's never going to be my man. Like no.
Yeah. I never hold it anyone against anyone with Untouchable. Yeah. Like Samantha just read Untouchable. I don't think she was prepared for that one. It was kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're mostly on sync with a lot of things. I mean, that's literally why we're besties. So that's what.
I mean, I didn't love the JT Gessinger.
Yeah.
What was that one? But I also didn't hate it, but I just didn't love it. So yeah, I don't think we do have a book where I just absolutely hate it and you're like, this is my favorite. We don't.
Yeah. Well, also because I wouldn't recommend it to you because I just have a good gut feeling. But anyway. We'll see. You still have to read the second one, which I know you don't want to because you didn't like the first one, but the second one is my
almost
favorite book
put
of the year,
that on my TBR today, and then at the last minute I was like, I don't know.
It's okay. Stressed. It's okay. So that's also one Samantha's reading right now, and she didn't read the first one. I didn't know that she, number one, has never really read Mafia. She's only read 1 or 2. And that's not really an intro to Mafia because it's you have to know how Mafia works and what's happening. So she's like, what's going on in this book? And I was like, oh, well, you just asked me for my favorite books. I didn't realize I had to do backstory.
Yeah.
It's my fault. So then I gave her 3 paragraphs. I was like, okay, here's what you missed in the first book that you need to know. Here you go. Here's everything. But that was funny. You're currently reading first Polar Bear Alaska series. Is that Polar Bear Shifters, I'm assuming? That sounds interesting.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, interesting. That sounds good.
Also, your screen name is Dramamine Forever or Dramamine, whatever, however we say it. I say Dramamine, which literally I'm thinking that it's a pill whenever I say their couple names. But very interesting. Loney Lee. I don't know if I've heard of that. Untouchable is a tough one to love. This is fair. The reason why I can love it is that I don't love him. I am fascinated by him.
He is a very fascinating character.
Fascinated by him and by why he's so compelling to me. Not because, and this is true too, I cannot read any other bully romances because they all just seem like pussies compared to him. Because here's the thing. Okay, I'll make my one pitch, guys. Bully romances never work for me because there's never a good enough motivation to bully someone. Personal opinion, as someone who's been bullied, there's never a good reason to bully someone. Why Untouchable works and why I don't really call it a bully romance is he has no reason. And he fully admits that he has no reason. He's a psychopath. Doesn't need to have a reason. There's my pitch. Just saying. Any other bully romances, because people recommend bully romances to me because they're like, oh, it's like Untouchable. And I was like, I don't want to read something that's like Untouchable because it isn't. Anyway, do you have a fantasy romance recommendation that is as wonderful as A Court of Thorns and Roses, but with more spice? That is a great question. I feel like TikTok could answer this for you because I have not found one.
I haven't found one either.
I try. Are you an ACOTAR person, Riley? I don't know if you
I am not.
She's
okay,
not.
That's okay. I did not know.
And it's totally very valid, Riley.
It's absolutely valid. I saw Silver Flames on some people's worst lists of this year, and I was like, I can't watch your video. I'm sure you have valid reasons. But that was my number 5 favorite book of the year, and I can't change that for anyone. No, they said it is a small town set in Alaska, not polar bear shifters, unfortunately. Oh, well then why would that person catfish me with saying it's a polar bear Alaska series? Are they like polar bear conservationists or something? I'll look it up. I'm just wondering. Back to this. I don't know. I haven't continued with this series yet because I want it to be done. But at the time, I really, really, really do love this series. It's not going to be exactly comparable, but the type of like fucked up fae world that this has, where you're like leaving the human world, like going into it, I really did, because I actually got to read arcs for this series back in the day, like when Becca from Becca in the Books had not read her books yet, like nobody was reading these yet, and I was fascinated by the first 2. But once I found out there was 6 in the series, I was like, okay, I'm gonna back up off of this and wait till it's done. And like the 4th one just came out, and there's like 2 more to go. But if maybe you read slower than me, or you don't mind the wait, there's 3 books out in this series so far. KJ Sutton is in case someone can see.
Are there sex scenes in that? Because I heard that there wasn't.
They build.
Okay.
There's not really in this one. There's a couple in the second one, and I haven't read the next 2, but I heard the 4th one had like a lot.
Okay.
It's also a little like Sarah J. Maas because there are some people might not like this. There are changing love interests, so know that going in. So yeah, that is a series I feel pretty good recommending. Again, have not finished it, but.
So I also would say, like, I haven't found a book that hits my level of fantasy requirements and romance on an adult level perfectly. I think A Heart of Blood and Ashes is a fantastic fantasy romance, adult one, but it's also not really heavy on like magic and stuff like that. It's more like barbarian type of world.
Yeah.
But I do think that Beck McMaster has a fae adult fantasy romance, but I wouldn't say that it has more spice than A Court of Thorns and Roses, but it's a really satisfying fae adult. I think it's really beautifully written. It's called Promise of Darkness. I really like that one. The second book is steamier than the first, so.
Yes. Another one that just popped in to my head is the shoot. What? Okay, I'm only remembering one of the names, but it's the Fae Prince's.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. He has the Tarzan cover, the same cover as a Tarzan book.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't remember. I've read all of the books in that series because when I'd read it, there was only the prequel and the first one out. Because there's a prequel that's called Between. Shit, why can't I remember those? I really liked it too. but there's like 4 books in that series now, and those ones are Curse, the Fae Prince's Curse, the Fae King's Curse. Is that what it's called? Damn it, let me look it up because I want you people to know. But that one was really good. That one has the Fae. It has different courts, and all of the princes, all the firstborn princes of every court are cursed until they find their mate. And so if they have sex with anyone else other than their true mate, they will be cursed forever. So, like, but also the way that the Fae find their mate is by seeing into their soul, and the curse is that they're blind. So they have to find their mate without having looked into their eyes and not be wrong, because if they pick the wrong person, they'll be cursed forever. So it's like it's one of those where it's very complicated to explain. Jamie Schlosser. Sorry, her name just came in my head. Hold on. I told you we're chaotic around here. Those were very spicy, very fun. So yeah, the Fae King's Curse is the first one, but the prologue, oh my God, there's a new one out. What? What the fuck? Sorry, I'm very excited now that there's another one of these. I'm going to go buy that right away. There is a prequel that's called Between Dawn and Dusk, which is about the couple that they're the reasons why all the princes are cursed. It does have a happily ever after, but it's why they're all cursed, because they make someone angry. But I'll show. This is the cover. The Fae King's Curse.
I have like 5 books with that.
I know. Yep, I know. He's literally been an alien, and he's been Tarzan, and he's been a Fae. Like, he's on everything. I think Tiffany Roberts, they have a cover with him too, but they do have the wings. They can like fly. And the first one was it was so cute because it's like a year in fairy is a day in the human world. And so every year on his birthday, he goes to the human world and he talks to this girl. But like for him, it's like 2,000 years. And for her, it's like 4 years, because she's only a teenager when she meets him. And so anyway, gotta read it. It's great. If you like the magic and the sexy times, there you go. But
there's another one that I really like. Who's the author? That's Faye's Captive, I think is
yes.
The first book. Lily Archer. I really liked those. Are they the best? No. But did I binge all of them in one night? You bet I did.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Also because, like, they don't have sex until, like, the 4th one. But you can read them all at once. Because I was like, I'm going to stop at the end of this part. And then they still hadn't had sex. And I was like, dang it. It's still spicy, everybody. I'm not. And the parts are they're very short. So.
Yeah, they're like novellas, I think.
Yeah, but that's one. These were this was recommended by a viewer. And I was like, these are all 3 stars. But I like them. They were really like, oh, wow, Jessica's read these too. I did not know that you guys had read these. That is hilarious. You read it a long time ago. 2 years ago. Anyway, those were fun. There's another one by Alessa Thorne, I think is the author's name. Those ones were cool because they had some like Norse mythology. Let me see. Alessa. Those ones are also kind of like novella length. Here we go. Kiss of the Blood Prince. The Wrath of the Fae is the name of the series. So these ones are all, well, they're a little bit longer novella length. They're like 200 instead of like 100.
Oh, yeah. I remember you told me about these. Yeah.
Sorry, showing weird pictures, but that's this one. And there's 3 in this, and they're 3 brothers. 3 Fae brothers. So it's Kiss of the Blood Prince, Heart of the Winter Prince, and Wings of the Night Prince. And each one of them has a different curse that their mate can like heal as well. So lots of curses, all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, fantasy romance for me, everybody, that is like, yes, I saw that, Elle Bell. Thank you. I went and looked. It looks like the arcs are available though. And, do I have time to read another arc? No. But am I going to stalk the author and ask for one? Probably, because I love those books. Alessa Thorne, yes. Oh, Miss Burns has a question for you, Riley.
Yes, but I don't know when. I never plan them far ahead. It's just like I wake up one day and I'm like, you know what I want to do?
Well, that makes sense because that's how it always feels to me. Is because I'll already have my plans for the month, and then I'll be like, "Oh, Smut-a-thon's happening." Oh, cool. Not that I can't just use probably the books in my TBR already because all I read is romance ones. Mm-hmm. What if some of your, I know this is like not the romance stuff, but I know you read the other genres too, Riley. What are some of your what have been some of your other favorite books that weren't billed as a romance, but like had a good romance in that you've read? Some fiction ones with good romance in.
For fantasy, I really like Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Okay.
I didn't know that had a romance in it.
Yeah. The series is still like ongoing, so like the romance is still like happening, but they do have some spicy times in the first book. So
that would get me by. I think that would get me by. Oh yeah. Someone kindly gifted me the entire series of this, so I really have no excuse now at all.
I read the first one and really liked it. Yeah.
I didn't know that there was 8 of them, but yeah, someone literally gave me the whole series. So, and I think they're all on Anyplay as well. So, I need to give those a go. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fantasy romance is the what I always want, but it's also the hardest to please me.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Still a YA fantasy romance that I stan, I stan this series, is the Black Witch Chronicles. Love it. The last book comes out this year, and I don't go back to YA for much anymore, y'all. But that one is definitely more new. It's definitely more new adult. It's definitely spicy, and the themes that it takes on are I even think the heroine's 18 at the start. It's one of those where you know. Throne of Glass, where it's YA, but also it leans towards older because that's where it starts at. But anyway, falling in love with Kristen Callahan. Yeah, I want to try liking those, Tiffany, because I did like her sports books. But some of y'all have read all of her other stuff. I haven't really tried any of the other ones. I've only read Managed. That's the only other one. Oh no, I did read The Sweet one too, but I didn't love that one. But yeah, well, you might all roast me, but I'm clearly oh, just meh. I mean, that one wasn't my favorite one, so
I loved that.
Twisted Games was a step above, in my opinion, Megan. So maybe keep going. Because that's the thing, is if a lot of people love Twisted Love, but if Alex doesn't work for you, then you might not like that one as much. But Twisted Games, I haven't met a Reese that I haven't wanted to get down with, so I'm just saying.
Twisted Games was definitely spicier for sure, and I did like their dynamic, but I still feel like I liked Twisted Love better, but they were both good.
They're both very equal for me.
Yeah. Twisted Games is just tropes that I love better. I like Bodyguard, Enemies to Lovers. I have the weight of the world on my shoulder type of stuff, so I like that one. Yeah, I love a dirty boy. I love it so much. Anyway, also recommend Married to Magic by Elise Kova. I have seen those. I see Elise Kova in Barnes and Noble.
I read the first one of those, and I liked it a lot. It's a really, really beautiful fantasy, but it's definitely not there's nothing explicit in there at all. But it was really, really, I liked it a lot. It was a good fantasy romance, but it's hard to
one Elise Kova, but I don't remember what it was. She has a lot of books and a lot of different series. I cannot remember which one I read. I think I liked it.
I'm about to blow through a bunch of Grace Draven because I haven't announced this, but I will be interviewing her in February. So I've only read one of her books so far, though. So I'm going to read some more of those ones.
I've only read a handful of her books, but I've really liked all of them. Well, one I didn't love at all, but the others I loved.
Yeah.
Which one didn't you like?
Master of Crows.
Okay, I haven't. That's the only one I haven't read. So
that was
maybe I'll just keep it that way.
Jen, you remember?
Yeah, I do. Also because that's one that Avery really wants me to read, and I was like, well, I'm gonna start with some other ones first.
It's interesting. I don't know. Like, a part of me really wonders, like, was it the mood I was in? But then I'm like, no, I just didn't like it.
I mean, there's definitely others that I want to read more. Like, I've only read Radiance. I want to read the other two in that, and I want to read Entreat Me, and then what's the other one that they really said I should do? Oh, the Phoenix one.
Phoenix Unbound.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I'm going to try to get through. We'll see. I got the audios for the Radiance one, so I'll for sure read those two. So,
Radiance and Phoenix Unbound are my two favorites.
Okay. Those are my two favorites by her too, but I've only read 3 of her books so far. But yeah, those are
Gaslight Hades. It's steampunk. Interesting. Interesting. Best romance books, but as audio. Like, the audio is what made it amazing. Cressley Cole. I'm sorry, no one will convince me that her writing is not elevated by Robert Peckoff, because I read one by myself, okay? And I read it in Robert Peckoff's voice, every single word. So definitely elevated. That's hard to pick. Which ones are elevated by the reading of it?
I really feel.
I don't know which ones.
I know. I talk about this all the time, but like Grip's voice in the Grip trilogy, like.
Yes.
Just cannot.
Nope, that is fair. I think you could say that about most of Kennedy's.
Yeah, I think so too.
The same for Real. Like, they're singing in it. Mm-hmm. So that's a good one. She like, that production was done to be like elevated by the book.
Has excellent voice actors too for her books. So good.
I'm like looking around because I'm seeing which ones. Oh, for me, JT Geisinger's books are, because they are dual. Those are duet. Is it duet or dual? Where like the man reads all the male parts and the woman reads all the female parts. So I really like those. Both her Cruel duet and the Queens and Monsters series is done that way, and I really like that. Because it's just really snappy. It's just so great that way. Also, this is a throwback. I know I've said that. Oh, you said for romance. Sorry. I was going to say my favorite audiobook of all time, which is not a romance. But sorry.
I recently read Sky O'Malley, a 1980 bodice ripper, which was recently put out as an audiobook in 2016, I think. And the narrator was Justine Eyre. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I truly feel like that made that just a blast to read. Her narration I don't know that I would have been able to get through it without like her modern historical narration. Like, it was a performance. It was really pretty amazing.
Yeah. I would say too, like, in my opinion, in general, I find that historical romance is elevated by a good narrator. I adore historical romance. It is my first love, but I would not read half as many as I did without audio for those. And so that's just the whole subgenre of romance for me that my go-to would be to listen to it on audio. Like, reading a historical book physically is almost never going to happen for me.
Yeah, I've never read a historical physically. Yeah. I'm like, if I can't get the audiobook, I'm not reading it.
Yeah. And that may be why I read so many historicals, is because I almost exclusively listen to audiobooks.
Yeah. Well, Crystal and I made a mistake once of picking a book for our book club that did not have an audio, and both of us were like, this was a mistake. Why do we do this?
That was tough. Yeah.
I can't get through it.
I was reading one for Jess and Samantha's book club, and it didn't have an audiobook. I did not finish.
Which book was that, Riley? I remember when you read
The Pirate and the Pagan.
Oh, yeah. That Virginia Henley. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Specifically, like, narrators that I super, super loved. The narrator who does Elizabeth Hoyt's, the Main Lane series was just a blur of wonderful because here's the thing. You need a female narrator that can do a great male voice.
Absolutely.
And then you're golden.
Yeah.
And like Justine Eyre does great men. Rosalind Landau, I'm probably just said her, Landor, sorry if I said her name wrong. As well as whoever the narrator for Little Elizabeth Hoyt's were. I'm trying to find, but I don't know.
Lisa Curtis's narrator is really good too, and I can't think of her name.
Yes. Susan Sarandon. Is that? I wanted to say Susan Sarandon. That's not who it is, but so those are some that I will listen to books sometimes just because they're narrating them. Like I've gotten into books just because of that.
Mary Jane Wells is Lisa Curtis.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, that's really important to me. So anyway, you don't listen to audiobooks. I've just never been able to get into it. To me, it sounds robotic. I'd rather read it myself. Well,
they're probably
that's
bad
understandable.
Narrators, though.
Yeah. Also, like how fast you listen to it. Because if you're listening to an audiobook slower than you can read, yeah, you're probably gonna be bored, or think that it's bad. But I mean, I literally said that for 10 years, so I'm not disagreeing with you if that is like your current opinion. I'm just saying there's lots of us who've thought that, and then you try one and it really works. Like I give this tip all the time: start with a book you have read before and that you like it.
Yeah.
And speed it up a little bit because you know what's happening, and then see how it goes. Because I think it can be tough. Like if you're starting it with books you've never read before, I think you'll probably miss some stuff and then not like it. You know, like you don't just drop into a book and be able to listen to it at 2.5. Like you can't. But also 1.0 is going to be really slow. So that's just my advice. You do not have to be with audiobooks. I just think it opens up a whole, like whenever people ask me like, oh my God, how did you read 700 books? I'm like, are you listening to audiobooks? Do you have a book on your phone? Do you carry one with you all the time? If you're only doing one of the three, like you're never going to be able to read that fast. Like you won't. So I can only give you so many tips if you don't want to try, and that's totally okay. On Audible, you can, Melissa, you can type in the person's name. I assume as well, if there are a narrator who's done a lot, you could just put them into Google. They probably have their own website. A lot of the narrators that I really love, like they have their own website. So you could go to their website to see what they've done. But yeah, right into Audible, you can type in Teddy Hamilton and it will pull up everything he's done. So there you go. Even if you are going to get your audiobooks through the library or through wherever, you could still go to Audible to look it up. Like you don't have to get it through them, but you could find out which books they've done. So yeah, absolutely. That, I mean, again, I've also done that before too. One of the reasons I'd get frustrated because I used to listen to audiobooks in my car on CD. Like I listened to Aragon on those. And I was like, wow, these are so slow. But I would do it while I was doing other stuff. Well, then I get it on Audible and I'm like, oh, I can listen faster? What? So anyway.
Yeah, I think about the first audiobook I ever listened to was like in class when we would be like sitting there, like following along in the book and the teacher would put the CDs in the stereo. And I was like, I would always read so far ahead. So I was like, I don't like audiobooks. They're too slow.
Yep. I mean, I say this all the time. The greatest delight is when I have my audiobook and my book at the same time. It's the most immersive, wonderful experience. I love when I have the privilege to get to do that. But I would not be able to read 700 books in a year if I only read it with my eyes. I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to. But like I read this entire book at work today while I was doing data entry. Bored out of my mind, I'm listening to a book. So I'm able to do that. But yeah, anyway, wow. We've already been on for like an hour and a half. So, I mean, if you guys, I don't know, we've just been chilling. But if you have any questions you want to squeeze in, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll kind of wrap this up. And we'll get ready for the rest of the weekend. I'm so happy it's a long weekend for me anyway. I know it's not for everybody, but it's going to be great. We had a bunch of snow again today, so much fun. It's literally like getting dangerous. Not that snow isn't always dangerous, but like they've piled the piles so high that it literally makes our like driveway like so thin at my apartment that like you have to be able to tell all the way down the road if someone else is coming, whether you have to like wait for them or not. And then you have to mutually agree from that far away who's going to go first, because only one person can drive there. It's a tough life, everybody. It's difficult. But anyway, well, thanks for coming to hang out. Thanks for putting up with my crazy self. Yes, if you are following us on Instagram at all, I can also post this on my community page, but the next one is 9 a.m. Central tomorrow on In Love and Words channel. On Sunday, it is at 1 p.m. Central on Riley's channel. And on Monday the 17th, it is at 1 p.m. Central on Crystal's channel, Crystal's Bookish Life. So I think I did that from memory. I don't know why I just did it from memory when it's literally written right beside me, but I just did that from memory because I'm cool. But yeah, and then also special announcement at 5 p.m. Central on Sunday, Sophie Lark will be on my channel. If you care, I care a lot. So come to that. But anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of it. I hope you all read some great romances this weekend. And also don't forget, once you have hit your bingo, go to my Instagram. You can fill out the form in my bio, and I will be giving away 2 Amazon gift cards to buy some books. So, or I mean, you don't have to buy books, I guess. I mean, that's what I would use it for, but that's up to you. So yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Have a good evening.